Hi everyone. So myself Rekha, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics. So in the subject, that is in the course Fundamental of Business Statistics. Today our topic is classification and tabulation. In previous class, so we discussed what is statistics, and now we can discuss how the data are classified and tabulate the data. So first of all, how we have collected the data, the using the primary and secondary data. So primary data we can collect directly, or else secondary data is already stored data in the sum of the source we can collect. So based on the sum of the collection, we can tabulate the data. How will you tabulate the data? So first of all, during the at the time of the collection, we will collect the data randomly. So how many members in the family, like that, number of men, number of women, like that, randomly we will use to collect. And after the collection, we used to segregate the data. So for that we have to tabulate and classify. So what is mean by tabulation is nothing but the presentation of data in suitable form for analysis and interpretation. After the data has been collected, they are tabulated. So it is based on the rows and columns. So it shall be tabulated in the form of an rows and columns. A table consists of 5 parts. First of all, number and title should be included. So according to the serial number and subject of matter of the table. And next one, the column indicating the heading or row. And next one is heading of the column, and you should have a subject. Next, the body of to be entered in the table. And footnote is a source from which the data has been obtained. So these are the collection of data can be tabulated, and this is the form of a tabulation. First of all, we have to represent the title, then stable and caption, and finally uh, total. In the caption we have to mention whether it is a man or woman, or else what is the collection of data, and title of the what is the so how you what is the need of the data. So you have to represent in the form of a title. And next is nothing but classification of data. After the tabulation, it is arranging of data should be done based on the sequence and the groups. So some of in the form of common characteristics, and mass data can be reduced physically and simplified. So classified data can be separate things based on the dissimilar things, and thereby the salient features. This enables the comparison of one class of data with another. This helps in studying the relationship between the several characteristics. This is a means to access the data properly. Classification or suitably for further statistical analysis, and this paves the way for the tabulation. Classification according to the class interval, there will be a types of data. So normally, if classification may be done in the form of groups. So either we can apply the class interval. So for if you want to collect a mass type of data, it can be collected in the form of a large number of data can be collected. For example, if 100 to 110, 110 to 120, like that we can collect the data in the form of a mass data, and it is divided in the form of an intervals. So this type of class intervals we can represent it, and after the class interval, the number of items should be mentioned in the form of a class interval. So how many, for example, if you want to know the marks of an for a subject, uh, how many members have got 10 to 20, how many members have got 20 to 30, how many members represent the frequency. So this class frequency can be obtained based on the class interval. So class interval can be applied for them in order to know the mass number of data. For example, if they conduct an TNPC exam, if you want to know the cutoff, means how many members are got the marks between the range. So this number of items is we can represent it as an frequency. So this is the cumulative frequency, and we can consider the difference between the limits of one class interval is known as a magnitude of the class interval for each class. This is known as a cumulative frequency. And these are the methods of class interval, so you can easily identify the range also. We can give the range according to that, and this method is known as an inclusive method, and another method is known as an exclusive, and it can be represent the range will be slightly changed. So if you rearrange in the form of an 100 to 109.9 as soon as possible. So these type of class interval can be split out based on their lower range and as well as the upper range. So in this class we have discussed what is tabulation and classification, and what is class interval and how to write the class interval based on the class frequency. Okay, thank you.